Kia ora koutou. Nā, tērā tētahi mātanga tuarangi norotorua, e hiahia ana koia te Maori tuatahi kia pōkai i tērā tūhāhātanga o te rangi. He kai pūkaha urungi a mana vautia i Houston, Texas. I Aotearoa nei ia i muatata ake nei, a i kōrero ia kia Jody Ihaka mo te toro i ngā whetū.
It might be one small step for mankind, but it'll be one giant leap for Māoridom if Mana Vautier becomes the first Māori in space.
First and foremost, my aspiration is to just get there. Whether I'm first or 21st or 101st, I'm okay with any of those.
There are no other Māori working in the space industry that Mana knows of, so conquering the final frontier just got one step closer for the rocket scientist from Rotorua. Mana is an aerospace engineer for Odyssey Space Research, a Houston-based company that works for NASA.
Since I was in nappies, I think as far back as I can remember, I've just had a love of space and all things related to space. I just dreamt of space and maybe being in space with no real realization of what opportunities were out there. And then as I got older and started to learn more about what different jobs and careers were available. Liftoff of the Soyuz TMA-22.
Next year, NASA will recruit new astronauts, and Mana is determined to be amongst them. The application process is coveted and complex, but Mana's background has him well prepared for success.
They're looking for just nice people. They're sending people up in space for 6 months at a time, where there's just you and up to 5 other people in a very confined area. So you need to be able to get along.
It's not just personality, it's performance. For more than a decade, Mana has worked towards achieving his childhood dreams. His work at Odyssey involves developing flight simulations, guidance systems and navigation controls.
We primarily focus on engineering research and analysis, doing a lot of simulation development.
The fact that the Soyuz is rolling into the right orientation.
I grew up loving airplanes as well, but as far as space, I'm not really too sure where that came from. It's just something I think I was born with.
Mana's mother was a nurse and his father was an aeroplane engineer. He says his parents gave him the courage to reach for the stars.
He grew up in Asia. We were away for 15 years, and but I've always taught them as best I could about their culture and their heritage. I think it's important, again, you have to know who you are. Once we knew that Mana wanted to be an astronaut, we tried to give him the best education that we could.
Mana's quest for knowledge took him to the United States.
I went over there first to study. I did my undergraduate work at Brigham Young University in Provo, and that was in physics astronomy. And then I went to Auburn University in Alabama and got a Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering.
He's officially an American citizen, but he's home with his wife and their 3 sons. They know their Tūhourangi tribal connections, can name some members of the All Blacks and haka with a Texan accent.
Mama, John is our uncle.
He is, isn't he? He loves his heritage, and it comes out in him. He's taught me a lot about what it means to be Maori, and it's just a beautiful culture. It's just fascinating, and you could tell how much he loves it, and he teaches his boys about his culture and his heritage. It's interesting. A lot of things that he tells me tends to go over my head, but that's okay. It really is fascinating, interesting. I get to learn a lot about the space industry that I never would. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a good ride.
A ride that comes with risk.
It's certainly a concern, but I guess I'm grateful that it's a concern that she's willing to live with as I strive to follow my dreams.
What's been the highlight of your career so far?
I'd probably have to say just being at what I consider the heart of human spaceflight. Right there in Houston, you're walking down the corridor at work and you walk by astronauts, flight directors.
The flight controllers continue to confirm that the Soyuz is flying true and nominal.
All the astronauts I've met are just outstanding people. Very humble, yet super qualified, of course, and just very amiable.
Back on Earth, Mana's mum has absolute faith that her son will be the first Maori in space.
I've always taught my children, you can be anything you want to be. But the important thing was you have to make sure it's the right thing for you to do.
Do you think you could be the first Maori in space?
Well, who knows?
We'll find out soon enough. He's humble, amiable and clever enough to create software that helps NASA astronauts capture these images from space.